Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure, a privilege, and indeed a tremendous honor to stand before you today in our nation's capital in a peaceful and unified defense of our Constitution, the very document that recognizes our right to do this today. As we come together here today to exercise these rights of assembly and free speech, recognized and guaranteed us by our nation's First Amendment, we do so in a peaceful, yet powerful, and extremely persuasive defense of our nation's Second Amendment, the meaning of which is not lost on me, and one for which I have dedicated the remainder of my life fighting for. As a regular columnist for Concealed Carry magazine, co-author of the recently released book Lessons from Armed America, as well as the host of the fastest growing firearms-related, nationally syndicated radio broadcast in this nation, Armed American Radio. Isn't that beautiful? Armed American Radio. I have interviewed dozens of everyday, ordinary people just like you and I, who in the blink of an eye found themselves using their lawfully carried sidearm in defense of their lives, or wishing they hadn't left their gun at home. There's the story of Mr. and Mrs. Butler of Missouri, who found themselves the victims of a relentless stalker, and were it not for their firearms and willingness to train with them and use them, would both be dead today. Instead, their attempted murderer is 6 feet underground. There is my interview with Ohio State Representative Michael DuBose from Cleveland, who voted against Ohio's right to carry legislation 2 times, later changing his opinion after a violent, unarmed attack against him while simply walking for his health in South Cleveland. And I should say that he was unarmed. His attackers were well armed. That attack changed his life. And like so many other law-abiding people in Ohio, former anti-gun Representative DuBose now possesses an Ohio right-to-carry permit. And then there is my own story. On November 18th, 2002, approximately 6:30 a.m. in the pre-morning darkness, just 2 weeks after the birth of my beautiful daughter, and while on my way to work, I found myself the intended victim of a carjacking while approaching a traffic signal in Tampa, Florida. The 2 criminals on that early November morning would not be so lucky. In mere seconds, I became one of the estimated 2 million people per year who use a firearm to stop an attack without having to fire a shot. Releasing my seatbelt and drawing my lawfully carried Glock from my waistband, I was able to bring an immediate end to the action against myself and another motorist. The criminals went home empty-handed that day, my friends, and I went home alive to my baby girl. Yes, folks, the second